Hello, Twilight Struggle fans. Thank you for joining me on this Monday afternoon for an RTSL contest between Anton Skott and Jan Wimmer. I'm incredibly invested in the outcome of this game. Jan is currently 3-3, but he defeated me earlier in the RTSL season, and if he wins out, he wins all the rest of his games, he will be the RTSL champion. But if he and Zimowit both lose another game, then I will be the RTSL champion, and that would be pretty great. I unfortunately, though, have completed my season and am just in the position of having to sit on the couch and hope the rest of the games go my way. So I need Jan losing this one would be quite helpful to me. I need him to lose one of his remaining 4 games, but one of his remaining 4 games against Zimowit, who I also need to lose one of his remaining 3 games. So it would be very helpful to me if Anton could pull up the victory here. Jan, as I mentioned, is competing for an RTSL championship if he can win out against Bartosz, Makis, Z, and Anton. But, of course, has everything to play for relegation-wise and podium-wise as well. Anton was sitting at 4-2 earlier. Unfortunately for him, has lost 3 in a row and needs to win this one to have any hope of avoiding relegation. If he wins this one, I think he'll be in good shape to land in the relegation playoff. But unsure at this exact moment. It will all depend on how everything else shakes out. Anton got a rather unlucky break when Harib and Patrick both finished 5-4-1, which will be better than his 5-5, which is where Anton's hoping to finish. BH and Alexei also sitting at 5-5. And Anton lost to BH, but he beat Alexei. So he's definitely not going to get, he almost certainly won't wind up with a completely safe spot in the top 5, but he should be able to get 6th or 7th and maintain a chance for himself in the relegation playoff. But okay, here we go. Anton is the USA, and this is not a good hand. He's got 12, 14, 16, 17 ops, so an average number of ops, but he has Asia scoring in his hand. That is not the scoring you want to have in your hand as the U.S. on turn 1. And, probably doesn't even have a headline either. I think with no 4s and no wars, this is probably a hand where I'd try to sneak out Asia. Because if Vietnam gets headlined, we are almost certainly not stopping this domination. So I think this would be an Asia sneak for me. But braver players might try 5-year plan. Try pull, decall, destall, purge, something of that nature. Or obviously containment or martial would be huge, particularly containment with this hand. Yeah, Jan started the season 3-0, including a victory against me, has lost 3 straight. Anton started 4-2. He has lost 3 straight. So something's got to give here. The Asia sneak would be my play, but I can understand a 5-year plan headline as well. Okay, Anton, I like 5-year plan. 5-year plan is a fun headline. So we'll see if Jan decides to go with Decall or Vietnam, which are the 2 cards Anton probably hoping not to see, along with, of course, Purge. Which would be a big problem in this hand, and most hands on turn 1 for the USA. And Europe scoring. Okay. This is going to pull Decall. Oh, boy, what a grab with 5-year plan. So ignore me, folks. Anton with a great 5-year plan play. Whenever I headline 5-year plan, always seems to pull Romanian abdication. Oh boy. So he had Vietnam, chose not to headline it, instead headlined Europe. Very interesting. Yeah, Anton's got to coup that. So Anton's still in trouble in Asia. I'm very surprised Oh boy, he had Vietnam and Duck. Interesting. Okay, and Anton, and he gives Duck. Boy, an awfully conservative start against a 4-4-2 setup. Headlining Europe over Vietnam, particularly with Duck in hand and decall as well. Oh, not the roll Anton wanted. He gets a 2. Using big ops for these Vietnam coups. Yeah, Anton looking like a guy who's going to eat this domination. He can't coup with Cambridge 5. He can't coup with de Gaulle. Really can't coup with AI War either. So he's counting on a tiny roll here from Jan. Yeah, independent reds. Anything but a 1 is good here for Jan. Oh, he rolls a 2. So that maybe I think you take your shot with Truman here. Hoping for a 2. Oh, he gets a 6. That's the next best roll. That is large. Let's see if Jan coups that back. And he will. Now he's going to need at least a 5, I believe. And he gets it. Wow. 2 huge rolls. Okay, yeah, I think you try. Boy, this is a huge risk. That's a huge risk if you want to do. I don't mind it, but boy, that's if you lose that war, that's a huge risk. Okay, big roll, and Anton gonna hold his breath for a small roll here, and it goes the way he wants. The war fails, so Anton gets away with a huge gamble. Okay, there's another one op coup. Needs a 5, gets it. Oh my! Look at these rolls in Vietnam. Wow. My goodness. Both players rolling huge on coups in Vietnam early. Little surprised Jan did not headline Vietnam. Even if it gets defected, you've still got decall to contest Thailand with. Okay. But here goes Jan. He's got 1 card left. That was silly. That certainly was silly. So Jan Jan can take Dom here by simply taking Thailand and Laos. But he also is going to want to take France. Anton in a little bit of a box here because he's got a score on AR6. I'm sure that's not what he wants to be doing. But Jan with other problems. He needs to take presence in the Middle East. He wants to take Asia Dom back. He wants to contest France. So Jan's got a lot of things he wants to get done here. Anton can't do anything on his AR6, and he's just hoping that Jan doesn't have a good card available. What Anton has to be happy about is that Jan punted Nasser. So Nasser was used for ops for a 2-op coup in Vietnam, as opposed to instead of gaining ground in the Middle East. So, wow. Oh, and he's going to use China. Okay, so that's going to be 1, 2. Okay, he does take the Asia Dom. Okay, well, Anton gives up the 6 VPs. And here we go to turn 2. Anton was hoping for Middle East, doesn't get it. He does pick up D-stall, though. He's got China in his hand, which means if he wants to, he can hold both blockade and D-stall. So CNS could be the headline here. Marshall also makes a little bit of sense. I might be worried about a Suez headline if I were Anton. Yeah, no, I'm also worried about that one. But okay, so this looks like a situation where Anton's going to have to hold both D-stall and blockade. So Anton's certainly sad to give up the VP in Asia, but the 5-year plan pulled decall, and now with D-stall in his hand and going to get held, he's got to be feeling good about that. Okay, this is probably going to be U.S. Japan. There it is for a big coup of Iran, and Jan just enough on the roll. So this should be Lebanon. Yep, that makes sense. Now Truman's gone, so let's keep that in mind. Now, the other thing you got to worry about is a coup of Lebanon means Anton's going to have to take Egypt with the China card because he's now got one-op plays across the board. Truman in the discard, so Jan doesn't have to worry about that. Big 4-op. Wonder if this is just going to be Iraq and Syria. Yep, it will be. So Anton says, okay, you want your 3 in the Middle East. I will take 2 from space. Yep, that makes sense. Anton wants a coup. Goes Laos, misses on the roll. Oh, interesting. A coup with CIA prior to. Okay, and there goes a miss. Anton sees containment and defectors, both of which must be played here. I think you just coup Iraq here, which is 2 VPs, essentially save the 2 VPs, right? And then, yeah, I think this is right. You don't want to give him another shot at Panama. I think you just coup this. Yeah, that's the play. This might be a situation where you take. You could use China here because you're going to use it regardless. I might use China here to take both France and Algeria. This should be Algeria. No. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense as well. Anton knows he's going to get containment. Now, he could use containment for 2 ops to blockade away D-stall. But I don't... Algeria seems way more important than this. But, okay. Korean War is unseen. Anton, I think with Purge... Oh, space of containment. It's interesting. Okay. So he wanted to surprise Anton a little bit. Yeah. And I don't believe any of the Europe attack cards have been seen. So overprotecting France is a must. Although no, never mind. We did see De Gaulle. Okay, here we go. Turn 3. And a redraw of defectors appears to be the headline, particularly with, I believe, Suez in Jan's hand. It's an easy defectors, I would think. Korean War also in Jan's hand. Suez, Korean War, Fidel, nuclear test ban. Okay, yep. So Fidel going to be an event. Thank you, Anton. We appreciate that. I know the viewers appreciate that. So, NATO as the headline. What? Okay, misclick. Oh, wow. What a... Wow. 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 Misclick from Anton there costs him Europe domination. And Jan immediately scores Europe. Anton, for his part, so Jan's going to get his mill ops out of South Korea. Question is, how frisky is he feeling? Is he going to use all of NTB in South Korea first and then trigger the war? Algeria needs to be taken here. So Europe was a redraw. Okay, so let's regroup. Anton's misclick is it does cost him the 5 VPs in Europe. However, he does get a coup off in in Iraq. He misses, so he does get 2 VPs back on Milops. Jan is going to get 2 VPs of his own with Korean War. Yep, this all makes sense. I think Algeria should have been taken last turn, but it's neither here nor there. Oh, this is frisky. Oh, interesting. Was not thinking about defectors. Boy, I would have thought defectors there. But yeah, U.S. Japan important as well. Okay. Jan now in a little bit of an awkward situation. He could use the four. So blockade, destall, special, so and Sokovs are known. Defectors is the only redraw at this point. Jan needs to event Korean War to get his Milops. Don't be tilted, Anton. A lot of Twilight Struggle left. Asia looks like it's going to be not so great. Anton right now with 5 countries. Even if he winds up with South Korea, he'll only have 6. Jan will probably be able to take a Dom there. But Decall gone, or Decall rather back in the deck, and Destall about to be in the discard. Presumably this is a blockade of Destall to fill UK, special event to take France. Sock Gov's likely to space, or maybe, you know what, maybe with Europe scored. Actually, Sock Govs will be triggered because Anton's going to want to do something in Central America. And then I'd like to see Anton get into Egypt as well. Jan, in his game against me, Jan made a play in a situation just like this one to go into Tunisia. So we might see it. Okay, and Jan going to take... That's interesting. I would not use defectors here. That is your last unknown. Okay, Korean War for the event. Let's see a 4. Unbelievable. It works out perfectly for Jan. Exactly a 4. Exactly the role he needed. All right, Anton's got to avoid tilt here. Asia is going to be a disaster for Jan. He, in fact, is on the precipice of being controlled in Asia. So that is very much a large concern. However, Jan does not have access in the other regions. He does have Algeria, but nothing on the left side of the board and nothing in the bottom half of Africa. Now, Anton, I would assume, wants to get to Libya here, so he may leave Angola and Zaire empty. Yep, duck to space. That was a redraw. Yeah. Boy, I'd like to see Jan get into Egypt. I really wouldn't want Egypt taken away from me here. with Nasser. Nasser was played for Ops turn one. And there's NTB, the big card. So yeah, Anton does not want to see, didn't want to see Japan taken. Oh, this he's going to space with it. I would have rather triggered it. Okay, Junta is nice, but it doesn't lower DEFCON. VOA, very nice, but awful ops here. One small step, nice to see. Portuguese, also nice to see in that it is not in Anton's hand, or not in Jan's hand, rather. So Junta is not the headline here. I don't think you do Junta because it doesn't lower DEFCON. I think maybe it's our man. Yeah, Anton's got a lot to be worried about here. A quick Asia scoring is a problem for him. So VOA is great to have in your hand turn 4 as the US, but right now Anton does not have any influence worth VOAing, so I would not even think about headlining it. I think it has to be I think it's our man, and you're hunting for Asia, Middle East, as well as the other red cards. Okay, Lads is underwhelming here. I think Alex might join the stream. Sorry, folks. Hold on just a moment. Alex?
Hey Justin, how are you doing?
Good, good. Glad to have you on board. So, yeah, we've got an interesting one thus far.
Oof.
I don't know what, I'm not sure what Laos does, but then again, I think the last two here are pretty immaterial. They're just going to be immediately repaired.
Can I ask one question? Is US Japan played or is Japan just failed? Because I don't see the icon, but it looks like US Japan has been played.
Yeah, Anton misclicked turn 3. He headlined NATO when he meant to headline U.S. Japan. He then played U.S.
Oh,
Japan for ops, filling Japan and putting one into South Korea. And then Jan responded to that by jamming Japan, and then he had to event Korean War for Milops, rolled exactly a 4, which was, of course, the roll he needed. And if he had not jammed Japan, that wouldn't have worked. And that's where we are now.
wow. Okay. Um, Interestingly, the US Japan icon's not there on the top left corner.
Yes, because it was played for ops.
Okay, okay.
So he
I
used
see.
U.S. Japan for ops to fill Japan and put one into South Korea. So yes, U.S. Japan is in the deck. So if Jan wants to
Ah,
flip it, he can. But then, or sorry, U.S. Japan is in the discard, but it is around.
wow, but the board looks pretty good on Jan's side, in my opinion.
Yeah, Asia is a disaster for Anton. Middle East about to be not so good.
So I have one question for you. Would you just use Vinta just to get an access to South America
Yeah,
if you were
I think you
Anton?
do. Hoping for not a 6 here. There's the 1. I think you do that. The problem is your ops are so bad you can't spread out. And Anton wants to
Yeah.
wait on space because he wants to trigger one small step. Oh, well, there goes
Okay,
that.
never mind then. Um, my natural inclination is I kind of want to hold it into nuclear subs because Africa looks pretty volatile.
Yeah.
But okay.
Well, you could also
Holding
trigger
hotel.
nuke subs to get your mill ops this turn, although it's kind of awkward to do that.
Yeah, if like let's say like I triggered nuclear subs, if I were Yan, I would just go down to Saharan states.
Yeah,
And if
yeah.
US Japan has been played on turn three, I feel like Asia control might trigger
It is on the
if you get
table.
the right card.
It's on the
Yeah.
table for sure.
And Asia's huge.
Yeah, Jan with a 6 VP lead. It's going to become 8 this turn unless Anton gets one small step off for 2 VPs. And Asia is another 8. That's about to become 9 if Jan takes India. Okay, well, he's going to, and probably put 2 more into Japan. No, he's worried about IP war.
Yeah, that makes sense. Nine VPs.
So, do you space now? I think you
Yeah,
have to.
yeah. It's rather bummer that you're not going to be able to hold one small step because you probably want to hold on to Junta, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You could get your mill up with Portuguese, so I think I might be tempted to just use one small step to fill um, Angola first. But
What? I don't like this. I don't like conceding
I think you're
Angola here.
leaning over. Yeah. Wait, nuclear sub's not on.
Nuclear subs is not
So
active. I
oof.
think it has to be
That might
this.
have been a big blunder. Yeah.
Yeah, I yeah, I think that's
Oh no, no.
good.
I think Angola is better
Yeah,
though.
sorry. Yeah, I like Angola and I like Cameroon, and then AR7. Okay, that's
I, I don't like this.
the one in Thailand is weird, but you don't really have a great spot for that last op if you're gonna those last 2 ops you're gonna use in Asia. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, yeah, and now Portuguese for your mill ops. Okay,
Mhm.
all right, that's not bad. Now you're not gonna get controlled in Asia. Yeah, Fidel for the event. Anton knew he had that, and Anton does not have Mexico, but he can use Junta to get it, and now he can use Junta to lower DEFCON next turn. So Junta
Bad
and
roll.
one small step, both good holds, and more garbage here.
Okay.
Yeah, Junta the easy headline.
The question is, do you prefer using OAS to get into a whole lot in South America, or would you prefer to going all in on Central America, trying to realign Cuba with it?
I would use it to get into South America, play for the long term. I think. But if Asia and Middle East, the problem with that is if Asia and Middle East both score here this turn, that's 10 VP for Jan. That plus
Yeah.
space or OPEC is GG. So you have to be worried about that.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because Middle East is coming soon, and
Yeah.
kind of need you kind of need to grab those Central America
D,
VPs.
Decall's brutal here.
Okay.
And you're
Yeah.
going to lose
Do
3
you?
African battlegrounds if you try the coup. Yeah, I think you realign.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Okay. So this will go Nigeria. This will go Nigeria, Zaire, Angola, and probably what Indonesia. Might even go
yeah.
into an African non-battleground and just score a presenceless dom here.
If Jan has Asia, then I think that would be the right play. You gotta press for the VPs.
Yeah. And Anton, if he wants to dodge Middle East dom, he's got to fill up Libya and Israel,
Yes.
and he doesn't have a lot of ops with which to do that.
The good thing is Muslim Revolution is gone. So if
Yes.
you just fill Israel up before Jan gets a foothold of it, then you could probably dump Middle East for
Okay.
nothing.
Dot.
Okay. Lock. Yep.
That. Yeah, you have to do that.
Yep.
And now you're not gonna be able to fill up Israel in Libya in all
Mhm.
likelihood. I think that's fine, but yeah, your ops just suck here. And this, I assume we'll see a space shot here, but maybe overprotect Zaire.
I would personally overprotect Sire if I were Yan.
Yeah,
It's just that you're in a better position, so just playing it safe would be a ideal play here.
yeah. So Jan's gonna, yeah, probably overprotect Zaire. Anton's probably gonna space Quagmire because even though he's got one small step in his hand, he'd much rather have the two VPs. Missile NB is going to overprotect. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, now I think you space,
Got
right?
yeah, you gotta go for space. You gotta get okay.
Anton needed that roll and he doesn't get it. Anton has to have this game if he wants to stay in the Solid Division next season. He is 4-5, and he needs this one to get to 5-5, and that should be enough to get him to the relegation playoff. Almost certainly won't be enough to keep him safe without that. But we
Yeah.
have yeah, Anton in some serious trouble here. He's got Middle East in his hand. He's going to have to. He probably will use. I don't know. I guess you use Usuri, right, to take Israel, and then
Yeah.
one small step to take Libya.
Or just Romanian and Truman and just take the slow walk and try to hold
Perhaps.
one
Yeah.
small step or event later on. I think I might be tempted to do that because Truman and Romanian is kind of nothing right now. He might go into Israel now.
Yeah. Shuttle is annoying. That's also
Oh,
annoying. But Anton is out of ops to contest that, right?
yeah, I think you gotta
No,
forfeit
I don't like
South
this.
America. No, 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 no.
I don't like this.
You just coup it one small step later.
Yeah. I don't
Okay.
understand why that needed
Yeah,
to be a 3-op, but okay.
yeah. If one small step was coup, then you would have just got two into Botswana, and that would have been fine. But
Yeah. Okay. I guess
yeah,
maybe
I
Anton
honestly,
Anton really excited about eventing one small step. Maybe.
Mhm. I kind of prefer Jan not to do that because that's just giving free Melops to Anton.
Yeah.
I would much rather preferred him just to go into Israel and then annoy him.
Yep. That would have been that might have been better. We've seen Kennedy is in the discard. Um, Omit is gone. So those bad scorings are coming. Oh boy.
Oh, if that goes to Panama, then ooh, okay. Now you gotta fill Mexico now,
Yep.
right?
I think you
Yeah, I
have
think
to.
the most logical use of OAS at this point is would be last AR, break Panama, maybe Haiti,
Yeah.
or okay,
Yep. So yeah, how to take Mexico, and I think yeah, you got to dump Middle East. So now Asia is GG. Jan is not
yeah.
playing like someone who has Asia, but it
Let's
good chance it's coming
let's
next
count
turn.
4, 5, TVP. Southeast Asia is +2 for Yan.
Yep.
OPEC is 3, 2, 5. Oof.
CMC.
Something like, yeah.
Take Africa Dom, threaten Libya is a good play.
Hmm.
Nothing really that Anton can do about this. He's got 3 1-ops in his hand. You're going to go for the long term play with central scored. That makes sense. You're going to lose Libya here. And you have to hope that you can, maybe grain flips over Zaire, and then you get you can salt for Kennedy with Asia. That is,
Hmm. I have a question though. Instead of OASing, like, would just sticking one into Libya would have been a better play just to annoy him?
yeah,
Like
maybe
forcing him
you could do
to
that
use
now.
more off. Yeah. the thing is like you don't have enough ops to fill South America, so on turn 6, you might get cooed out. That's just my concern. So I just
Yeah,
much rather contest Libya for it.
yeah, no, that's true. Okay, so Anton gonna try and contest Africa here. Here we go to turn
Ooh.
6. Anton gets Africa, no grain, no coup stealers, no DEFCON degraders. This is a big problem.
Um, I
So
want to see the status of Poland. Yeah.
the status of what?
Of Poland.
Poland is so the Pope would break Poland, and so you could flip it here, hold Warsaw to turn 7, but that Europe is scored, and you're not going to be able to escape this Africa situation. Jan also
Mm.
could have Asia. We have no way to contest that. So this Anton is. It's hard to see how he's going to survive this turn.
Well, if you know Asia's coming, then Alliance Progress will prolong your life.
Yeah. So Asia is what now? 5, 6, 7, 8
8,
to 7. It's 7 because yeah, Anton is down 4
maybe.
battlegrounds. No, it's 8. Right? Is it 8? Yeah, 5 to 1. It's 8.
Maybe.
So yeah, Camp David's not enough. So
Yeah.
Jan's got to have. So Jan has to not have Asia. But I think that's the same regardless. Um, and Anton probably plans to try and fill up South America and get a big number off for Alliance.
Hmm. I think yeah, you got to go for highball right now.
Yeah,
You got to score high with Alliance. I
yeah,
don't because I don't see how you can endure Africa
yeah. I would have liked
with it.
to maybe trigger the Pope with Truman in my hand. Yep, that'll do it.
Oh.
That will do it. All right. Well, a tough game, tough loss here for Anton. Just did not have the didn't have the cards that he needed to get it.
Mhm.
And so Anton falls to 4-6, lost his last 4 games. Jan, still alive in the RTSL title hunt, goes to 4-3, needs to win out in his final 3 to capture the championship. So, Alex, any final thoughts on this one before we wrap up?
Uh, I joined midway, but the game was already too tilted
Yes.
when I joined.
Yes, certainly was. There was just not a lot
How about
Anton could
you?
do. Yeah, we had. Yeah, I invite you to go back and look at turn 1, which was a bit silly, with the fight over Asia. Both players made some interesting choices there. So, anyway, thank you. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks, Alex, for joining. And not sure when my next stream will be, but I will probably be back tomorrow to stream at least one of Tim Furrow's Atlantic League games. So join me then. But until next time, for Alex Yusuf Lim, this is Justin Abramson signing off for now. That was fun, but now it's done. So long, everybody.